Incredible transformation. Little girl's whisper reveals amazing family secrets with officer and dog. Lucy slid onto the back porch, sunlight drenching her golden hair as she ran her fingers through Max's warm fur. This summer, the world felt heavy, with shadows lurking just beyond the cracked sidewalks of her suburban neighborhood. Her family was fighting silent battles, her dad, a veteran-turned-mechanic, working long hours for a paycheck that barely held their home together, and her mom, battling cancer like it was a ghost haunting their little house. But with Max by her side, Lucy felt like she could conquer the world. Nights spent whispering dreams of better days to him were her lifeline, the hope swirling into those moments wrapping around them like a magical cloak. Then came the day everything changed. Officer Martinez, the gentle-hearted police officer known around the neighborhood, faced the burden of his own struggles. With compassion in his eyes, he offered to take Max in when Lucy's family could no longer keep him. The uncertainty of job security and medical bills had devoured their ability to look after the one true friend she'd had since the beginning. Lucy felt like the ground vanished beneath her feet. As Officer Martinez walked away with Max tugging on his leash, her heart shattered, bruised by a whirlwind of emotions, loss, betrayal, and a sudden wave of loneliness. The summer skies felt less bright as Lucy hid behind the heavy curtains, the muffled sounds of laughter wafting in through the window. Every day, she battled the ache of Max's absence, whispering soft promises to him that only echoed in her mind now. Officer Martinez had meant well, but she felt abandoned. The longer she stayed in her hiding place, the deeper her sorrow sank, pulling her into a dark vortex filled with shadows of the life she'd once known. But the annual neighborhood block party changed everything, the day the air was alive with sizzling burgers and children's laughter. Lucy wandered through soft murmurs and the warm scents until she stumbled upon a conversation that pierced her heart. She hung back, her tiny frame hidden behind the trees, hearing Officer Martinez share the weight of his own struggles. His words echoed like a storm over her heart. He spoke of being judged by the very people he tried to protect. Lightning struck as Lucy recognized shared pain, their hunger for understanding binding them together in an invisible thread. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. That evening, the shadows of uncertainty morphed into something else as Lucy found her voice. She stood before Officer Martinez, clutching the words she had whispered to Max, now transformed into courage. Sometimes it feels like we need help, like we're lost in a maze, she said, her tiny voice carrying the weight of her fears. In that moment, something shifted, his expression softened, the barriers crumbling under their shared vulnerability. As they spoke more, Lucy realized that the truth of family stretched beyond blood. Officer Martinez's eyes reflected the conflict and resilience they both faced. Would their conversation weave together the complex fabric of their experiences or unravel the threads further? Both felt the heaviness of unexpressed emotions in the air, but now, a sense of hope flickered like fireflies glowing in the evening sky. Would their paths converge or would the distance only deepen their struggles? The night held secrets waiting to reveal the magic of connection on the horizon. Lucy woke up the next morning, feeling an unexpected lightness in her heart. The previous night's conversation with Officer Martinez danced through her mind like glimmers of sunlight breaking through dark clouds. She sat up, the sun streaming across her bedroom, filling the room with warmth. Maybe, just maybe, she didn't have to lose Max forever. Maybe there was something stronger than her fears. After breakfast, she grabbed her sketchbook. Drawing had always been her way of expressing feelings too big to say aloud. As she sketched Max leaping through a field of daisies, she remembered the joy that radiated from him. Her pencil flew across the pages as if guided by a force bigger than her, capturing not just his image but the love that tied them together. In the background, she drew herself, arms wide open, ready to embrace every adventure life offered. Her dad bustled through the kitchen, a weary smile on his face. "What has got you like this today?" he asked, noise mingling with the smell of pancakes. "Just thinking about Max," Lucy replied. "Yeah, I miss him too," he sighed, his voice laced with a heaviness that lingered around the family since Max left. "He was good for all of us." Lucy nodded, her heart swelling with a mix of sadness and determination. Maybe it was time for a plan, maybe she could show her dad how much Max meant to them. She poured all her energy into minuscule details in her drawing, imagining the day she would get Max back. Later that afternoon, Lucy ventured to the park, sketchbook in hand. It was a soothing space where laughter echoed and the air buzzed with life. She spotted Officer Martinez talking to a group of children, Max by his side, tail wagging happily. The sight cut through her like a rippling wave, mixing longing with courage. "Hey, Lucy." Officer Martinez noticed her standing awkwardly by the swings. He waved, beckoning her over, and the warmth of his smile eased her nerves. "Hi, Officer Martinez," she said, taking a steadying breath. "What's on your mind?" he asked, crouching down to her level, and with that, her words gushed forth, the dam of uncertainty breaking. "I know you're trying to help us, but Max, it feels like he's gone forever, and it hurts. Can we see him more? Can we spend time with him?" Martinez's eyes flickered with understanding and remorse. "I know it's been tough. Max cares about you as much as you care about him. You're not alone in this." Lucy absorbed his words, feeling the knot of fear loosening in her chest. "I have an idea. Maybe we can train together? I could show you some stuff." His smile widened, genuine warmth flooding through him. "That's a great idea. How about we arrange some training sessions? In fact, I think we could form a little group with some kids from the neighborhood." Lucy's heart danced. The idea sparkled with possibility. Not only could she have time with Max, but she could also build a community. With each passing moment, the shadows that had once clouded her heart receded, revealing a platform for new connections. As the day drew close, Lucy gathered her courage once more. "What if we do something bigger? A block gathering to train together?" Her eyes shined, hope surging through her veins. "Oh, I love that." Officer Martinez clapped his hands, excitement contagious as he discussed the logistics, imagining a day of laughter, connection, and most importantly Max. "Great!" she cheered, her enthusiasm igniting explosive new ideas. But deep down, Lucy still wrestled with a lingering question swirling in her mind. How do you mend a heart that feels broken? Would this be enough to heal the wounds created by loss? For now, as the sun began to dip below the horizon, Lucy felt a flicker of hope in her heart. But the road to healing was just beginning, and she had more to discover. The answers loomed over the horizon, waiting to reveal themselves. Would she find the strength to face her fears? Would connecting with her community bring the healing she needed? The next morning, Lucy woke up buzzing with energy. She barely slept, her mind swirling with plans and possibilities. Today was the day she would bring her block gathering to life, and everything felt different. The sunlight streamed in, brighter than ever before, as if the world knew how important today was. After breakfast, she rushed to find her dad. "Dad! Can we get some flyers made? I want to invite everyone to the park for the dog training day." Her excitement was infectious. "Flyers?" He raised an eyebrow, a smile creeping back onto his face. "You've got a plan, huh?" Lucy nodded vigorously. "We'll have games, and I'll teach everyone how to work with Max. It'll be so much fun." Her dad chuckled, shaking his head in disbelief. "Alright, let's get to it then." They worked together, cutting colorful paper and scribbling messages. Come train with Max. Meet new friends. Fun for everyone. Lucy's heart raced. Each flyer represented not just an invitation, but a step towards healing. With a stack of flyers in hand, Lucy set off down the street, determination pulsing through her. Her first stop was the Johnsons' house. Mr. Johnson was known for his booming laugh and warm, welcoming spirit. She knocked on the door, her palms sweaty with hope. "Lucy!" he exclaimed, smiling widely when he opened the door. "What brings you here?" "Mr. Johnson. I'm planning a dog training day in the park with Max. Can I invite you and your kids?" His eyes lit up, and Lucy felt a rush of warmth. "That sounds fantastic. I'll spread the word." Next door, Mrs. Patel was out watering her garden. "Lucy! What a surprise!" She beamed. "Mrs. Patel, I'm hosting a gathering for everyone to train with Max. Would you like to join?" "Of course," she said, her excitement matching Lucy's. "I'll bring snacks." As she moved down the street, people began to buzz with excitement. Each conversation fueled Lucy's hope. She felt her heart swelling, building something good felt right, like a light shining through cracks left by loss. When she returned home, her dad was at the table sorting through the finished flyers. He looked up, his expression shifting to one of pride. "You know, I've heard some folks talking. They're really excited about this." "Really?" Lucy's eyes widened. "What did they say?" "There's a lot of energy in this neighborhood. They miss the community, too. I think you're sparking something special." Lucy beamed. In that moment, she realized it wasn't just about training dogs, it was about bringing people together, healing hearts in the process. Later that afternoon, she took a quiet moment on the porch, watching the sun set, painting the sky with vibrant hues. Her thoughts drifted to Max and Officer Martinez, both pillars of stability in her swirling world. She couldn't help but feel a swell of gratitude. Maybe, just maybe, she was on the brink of something incredible. Suddenly, the door swung open, and her dad called out, "Lucy! Come quick! You have a surprise visitor." Panic and excitement danced in her chest as she sprinted inside, her heart racing. Who could it be? When she reached the living room, her eyes widened in disbelief. There stood Officer Martinez with Max by his side, both grinning like old friends. "Lucy," Martinez said, "we heard about your gathering and wanted to stop by to see how we can help." Lucy's heart soared, hope lifting her spirit higher. But as she looked at Max, a crushing wave of emotion hit her. All her plans felt like a delicate glass sculpture, beautiful but fragile. Could this day change everything? Would the gathering bring them all closer together, or unleash new fears? With Max wagging his tail and the promise of friendship hanging in the air, Lucy clutched her sketchbook tightly. Something bigger was brewing, and she felt it deep in her bones. Everything was on the verge of transformation, but would she be ready for what came next? The living room was warm with the afternoon light filtering through the curtains, casting golden patches on the floor. Lucy felt a wave of hope wash over her as she took in Officer Martinez and Max standing in her home. It was as if the universe had placed them there at just the right moment to help her bring her dreams to life. "Officer Martinez. You really want to help?" Her voice trembled slightly as excitement bubbled over. "Absolutely. I've seen how you're bringing everyone together, and I want to be a part of it," he replied, his smile infectious. "Max has been itching to show off his tricks." Lucy giggled. "I bet he's the star of the show." Martinez chuckled softly, giving Max an affectionate pat. The dog wiggled in delight, his tail wagging like a flag in the wind. "Let us talk about what you need. I can help with the training demonstrations and maybe even some safety tips for everyone." Lucy nodded, grateful for his encouragement. "That would be amazing. I have a few ideas for games we can play, too." Together, they began brainstorming. Martinez suggested an obstacle course that would challenge Max and the other pups. Lucy's eyes sparkled as she pictured a bustling park, dog owners laughing as they navigated the course, and kids cheering their dogs on. "All right, let us make those flyers stand out even more," he said, his enthusiasm contagious. They quickly got to work, sketching ideas for a new batch of flyers. Martinez contributed ideas for fun illustrations while Lucy added energetic colors. As they talked, Lucy began to feel a sense of belonging she hadn't expected. She was not just a girl with a plan, she was part of something larger, a community trying to come together after hardship. But just as the conversation flowed smoothly, Martinez's phone buzzed. He checked it, his smile faltering for a moment. "I might need to take this call, but I won't be gone long." "Okay," Lucy said, but her heart sank a little. Just then, Max looked up at her with his big brown eyes, as if sensing her fleeting joy. Without hesitation, she knelt to hug him tight. "I'm scared this won't work," she murmured into Max's fur, feeling the warmth of his body against her. "What if everyone doesn't show up? Or what if I mess it all up?" To her surprise, Max licked her cheek, and she couldn't help but smile. "You're right. You believe in me," she whispered. "I'll keep believing too." When Martinez returned, he wore a serious expression. "Looks like we're going to have a big event in the park just before the training day. I might need to attend to some things. But I promise I'll help make your gathering a success." Lucy felt a pang in her chest. This moment felt pivotal, yet uncertain, like standing on the edge of a diving board. "Will you really come back? It means a lot to me." "I wouldn't miss it for the world," he assured her, the sincerity in his voice easing her tension. "Just remember, you're not alone in this." With a newfound determination, Lucy threw herself into finalizing the details as Martinez left. Just the thought of having someone like him and Max there made her pulse quicken. Later that evening, as she lay in bed, her mind raced. What kind of surprises awaited her at the gathering? Would it be as magical as she hoped? She held on to her excitement tightly, but underneath it lay a layer of fear. That night, as she drifted to sleep, she replayed everything in her mind: the laughter, the possibility of new friendships, the love that surrounded her. The day of the gathering loomed closer. But the biggest question left unanswered echoed silently in her head: what if the gathering unveiled more than just a joyful day in the park? What if hidden truths within her neighborhood came to light, changing everything she thought she knew? The sun rose brightly the following morning, its light spilling into Lucy's room, stirring her awake. She lay there for a moment, blinking against the soft light, her heart thudding with excitement and anxiety. Today was the day she had dreamed about, planned for, and now dreaded. "Come on, Lucy. You've got this," she murmured to herself, swinging her legs over the side of the bed. Max, sensing her restless energy, bounded into the room, his tail wagging wildly. She could feel the love and loyalty radiating from him. "All right, buddy. Let us get ready." With her heart still racing, Lucy set about her morning routine. She dressed quickly, opting for a bright t-shirt with a paw print and comfortable jeans. She wanted to look approachable, ready to embrace whatever came her way: the laughter, the new friendships, the unexpected moments. By the time she made her way downstairs, the kitchen was filled with the enticing smell of pancakes. Her mom was at the stove, flipping the golden rounds with a practiced ease. "Big day ahead, huh?" her mom asked, looking over her shoulder with a smile. "Yes." Lucy beamed, taking in her mother's enthusiasm. "I hope it goes well. Officer Martinez and everyone will be there." Her mom nodded. "You've worked hard for this, Lucy. Just be yourself." Those words poured warmth into her, wrapping her in a cocoon of love and encouragement. After breakfast, they packed a basket with snacks and water for the day. Lucy loaded Max's toys into the car, not wanting him to miss a chance to charm everyone. The ride to the park felt like an eternity, Lucy's stomach fluttering with anticipation and nervousness, but she held on to the thought of Officer Martinez and the community coming together. When they arrived, the park was already alive with families setting up and dogs barking. Lucy's heart hummed with excitement as she jumped out of the car, Max bounding ahead, eager to explore. She spotted Officer Martinez across the grass, crouched down, playing with a golden retriever. Relief washed over her. He was here, and it felt like a lifeline. "Lucy!" he called, standing up and waving. "You made it." "Of course. This place looks amazing," she exclaimed, her worry starting to melt away in the face of such vibrant energy. Together, they began to set up the obstacle course cones, hoops, and little jumps. With laughter and chatter swirling around them, Lucy found her focus. This is what she loved. Bringing joy, connecting with others. Suddenly, a small voice cut through the sounds of excitement. "Is that Max?" A little girl wandered over, her eyes wide with interest. "Yeah. This is Max. He's going to show you some cool tricks today." Lucy knelt down to the girl's level, feeling that spark of connection blossom. More families began to gather, and the park filled with an array of colors: bright blankets, playful dogs, and smiling faces. But then Lucy noticed something. As she turned around, she saw a few familiar faces exchanging uneasy glances. They were neighbors she hadn't spoken to since the tough days after the storm. Martinez noticed too and leaned in, his voice low. "You okay? You seem unsettled." I hope no one remembers the bad times," she admitted, glancing back at the group. Memories of whispered conversations and awkward encounters returned. But something shifted as the gathering grew. Laughter erupted, and soon enough, children were darting from one end of the park to the other, their voices like music filling the air. Adults began chatting, concerns melting into shared smiles and stories. As Lucy watched, her heart soared at the realization that today wasn't just about dogs, it was about forging, mending connections. But just as her spirit lifted, she noticed two neighbors pulling away from the group, deep in an intense conversation, oblivious to the festivities. The shadows of uncertainty returned. What were they whispering about? What truth was lurking just out of sight, waiting to be revealed? That chilling question tightened the knot in Lucy's stomach as her day unfolded. She felt a tingle in her chest. Was there more to this gathering than she could see? Would today mark not just fun in the sun but uncover conversations that could bring everything tumbling down? Lucy shifted her weight from foot to foot, her gaze flickering back to the two neighbors. She could see their lips moving quickly, their expressions serious, and the carefree laughter of the park felt distant. A cloud passed momentarily over the sun, casting a shadow on her heart. "Lucy?" Officer Martinez's voice pulled her from her thoughts. He stood beside her, concern etched on his face. "You really okay?" Biting her lip, she nodded. The day had started with promise, but now the whispers felt like thorns pricking at the blossoming joy around her. "I just don't want anything to ruin today." It came out more like a plea than a statement. The officer gave her a reassuring smile. "Let us not dwell on the past. Look around. Everyone is here to have fun." His enthusiasm was infectious. But even as he spoke, Lucy's eyes lingered on that troubled duo. What were they saying? Did they even understand how hard Lucy and her family had worked to rebuild their lives? "Right, okay," she said, forcing a smile with a newfound determination. "Max, come on." She called her dog, and he bounded over, his tail wagging so fast it made his whole body twitch. A few nearby children instantly gathered around, asking to pet him. Lucy breathed a little easier. This was what it was all about: fun, laughter, and connection. She knelt down, encouraging the kids to toss a frisbee for Max, who dashed gleefully after it. Laughter rang out, and the park seemed to brighten once more. Yet, that uneasy feeling lingered on the edge of her mind. Lucy glanced back at the neighbors just in time to catch a glimpse of one of them pointing in her direction. Instinctively, her stomach dropped. Did they see her as the girl from the storm? The one who lost so much? Who cares? She muttered under her breath, shaking off the sensation. She focused again on the children. Each smile, each squeal of delight from a successful frisbee toss pushed the shadows back. "Hey, can I try too?" A voice broke through. Lucy looked up to see a boy with messy hair and a bright red shirt standing shyly at the edge of the group. "I've never played with a dog before." "Absolutely. Here, let me show you." Lucy beckoned him closer. As the boy joined in, throwing the frisbee with awkward enthusiasm, Lucy felt herself relax further. With each throw, more laughter filled the air, crowding out her worries. But still, the whispers from the corner of her vision nagged at her. As the sun climbed higher, so did the crescendo of energy around them. Families mingled, children played, and slowly, the bonds formed through shared love for animals began to knit a larger tapestry of community. Officer Martinez joined in with a collective cheer as several dogs completed the obstacle course, barking and prancing in pure joy. Lucy laughed and cheered along, feeling the warmth of belonging. Yet just before she could lose herself entirely to the sports and spontaneous competitions, the nearby neighbors shifted abruptly. A harsh laugh broke through the laughter of the park, turning heads. "Did you hear that? What are they talking about?" One child whispered, eyes wide like saucers. Lucy's heart raced once more as she turned to see the group's attention drawn to the conversation. She could feel her pulse quicken. What were they saying that had drawn this sudden focus? Did it involve her family, their story? As the smiles and laughter faded slightly around her, anticipation bubbled over. Would this gathering truly heal wounds, or were deeper scars lurking beneath the surface? "Let us find out," she whispered, heart thumping in her chest. The day was still possible, but now it seemed crucial to know what lay in the shadows. What truths might soon be revealed? Lucy felt her heart pound in her chest as she stepped closer to the group of neighbors, curiosity mingling with trepidation. She noticed their faces now twisted with something stronger than mere concern. There was judgment lurking there, a sharp edge that cut through the park's light-hearted atmosphere. "What are they saying?" she whispered to herself, clenching her fists at her sides. Max, sensing the sudden shift in her mood, looked up, his big brown eyes full of unwavering loyalty. In that moment, she needed him more than ever. Just a little more courage, that's all she required to confront whatever storm was brewing between those two neighbors. The laughter around her faded into a background hum, replaced by the intense murmurings that spiraled into her consciousness like a slow-motion reel. Officer Martinez, standing slightly behind her, seemed to sense her distress. "Lucy," he said softly, "whatever they're talking about, you don't have to face it alone. Just let it go." But how could she? The need to know was like a flame, igniting her curiosity and fear all at once. She squeezed her eyes shut for one quick second, summoning the memories of the hard work her family put in to rebuild their lives after the storm. They had fought through adversity together, the scars still healing but the hope flickering fiercely beneath the surface. As if to remind her of the good, a nearby child let out a delighted squeal. Max had caught the frisbee and was trotting back with a proud wag of his tail, the essence of unbridled joy. But Lucy's heart continued to race. What if the neighbors knew something she didn't? Something that could rip apart the fragile peace her family had forged? "Hey! Come play!" The boy in the red shirt called out again, breaking through Lucy's chaotic thoughts. His excitement felt genuine, and for a moment, she fought the urge to retreat completely. Perhaps she could zone out the whispers if she focused on the fun. With a forced smile, she turned back toward the children. "All right, everyone. Let us keep playing." But her gaze wandered back to the neighbors. They were still deep in conversation, their body language tense, betraying a seriousness that felt out of place in the joyful park. Lucy, don't let them ruin your day, Officer Martinez said again, his voice steadying. Look at all this good around you. He gestured to the laughter, to the scene of carefree delight unfurling like a flower amid her anxious thoughts. In that moment, Lucy understood something. She couldn't let the uncertainty of their words dim the brightness of today. These were her friends, these children who laughed with abandon, and the families that shared this space with her. Yet, as she turned to the officer, she caught a glimpse of one of the neighbors looking directly at her, their gaze piercing, filled with something she couldn't quite interpret, fear or concern. Maybe a mixture of both? I know I shouldn't care, but Lucy's voice was barely a whisper, an inner struggle spilling out. Then let us ask, he replied softly, surprising her. You deserve to know what's being said. With a deep breath, fueled by both resolve and fear, Lucy made her decision. There would be no more hiding, she wouldn't let shadows dictate her story. Okay, she said, stepping forward, let us find out exactly what they're talking about. As she moved closer, tension hung in the air, the laughter of the park slowly fading away again. This was it. Would she confront the unknown or retreat to the safety of her ignorance? With all eyes on her now, the neighbors fell silent. A bead of sweat trickled down her temple as she took the final step. What is it? She asked, voice steady but laced with an urgency she couldn't hide. And in that moment of vulnerability, the true weight of the afternoon hung heavy in the air. Truth lay just beyond the words she was about to hear, and with it, a possibility of revelation that could change everything. The silence stretched out, palpable and suffocating, a thick fog blanketing the vibrant park. The neighbors stood as a wall of uncertainty, their eyes darting between Lucy and the figure at the center of their hushed conversation. She felt exposed, her heart pounding with a blend of fear and determination. She was no longer just an observer, she had stepped into the arena. One neighbor, a middle-aged woman with tightly coiled hair, broke the silence. We were just worried about your family. Her voice trembled slightly, shifting the air around them. It's about the old house. Lucy felt a knot tighten in her stomach. The dilapidated structure had been a sore spot for years, a place filled with memories both cherished and haunting. What do you mean? She managed to ask, her voice shaky. There are rumors about its condition, the woman pressed on, glancing at her friends for support. People are saying it might be unsafe. Some think it could be a danger to the neighborhood. We were just talking about it. Unsafe? Lucy echoed, the word tasting bitter in her mouth. This house was her family's fortress, a place where they had rebuilt their lives brick by brick. It's fine. I mean, we've taken care of it. Have you? Another neighbor chimed in, his arms crossed defensively. With what happened before, it's hard to be sure. Enough. Officer Martinez's voice rang out, deep and authoritative, cutting through the tension like a knife. His presence was solid, a reassuring anchor. Lucy's family has worked hard. We can't let rumor poison this community. If there are real concerns, we should address them, not sweep them under the rug. Lucy met the officer's steady eyes, drawing strength from his unwavering support. She turned back to the neighbors, a wave of emotion crashing over her. My family has given everything to make that house a home. It's not perfect, sure, but it's ours, and I won't let anyone tear it down with whispers. Max, sensing her turmoil, moved closer, as if to reassure her. She reached down and patted his head, grounding herself in the warmth of his presence. The neighbors exchanged glances, some looking unsure, others still skeptical. Lucy could see the shift in their expressions, a tentative understanding sparking in the air. This was about more than just a house, it was about trust, community, and the memories that stitched their lives together. Let us not kid ourselves, the coiled-haired woman softened. We want to help. But you need to be open with us too. We care about you all. Maybe we can come together to check it out, another neighbor suggested cautiously. Work as a team, make sure everyone feels safe. Lucy took a deep breath. This wasn't just about her family anymore. It was about forging connections, breaking down walls built from fear. "Okay," she said slowly, allowing a flicker of hope to ignite within her. "Let us do that, come together over this." She glanced back at Officer Martinez, who offered her a small, proud smile. In that moment, she felt a newfound courage blossoming as she faced the group. Perhaps this could turn into something positive. As the conversation picked up again, shuffling into a more supportive tone, Lucy felt a shift in the atmosphere, a community awakening, ready to help rather than harm. Just as the laughter of the children began to swell again, she noticed the coiled-haired woman lean in close, her voice dropping to a hush. "And Lucy? There's something else we need to discuss, something you need to know about your past." Lucy's heart skipped a beat. What could it be? The heartfelt connection had just begun to mend the cracks, and now a new mystery loomed ahead. "What do you mean?" she asked, fear and curiosity colliding once more. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows over the park, and with it, the promise of another revelation was already at her doorstep. Lucy felt a chill crawl up her spine as she leaned closer to the woman, her heart racing. "What do you mean about my past?" The words stumbled out, thick with apprehension. The woman wrung her hands, glancing at the others as if searching for courage amidst their concerned faces. "There's something you should know about the house and your family's history with it." A weight hung in the air, making every breath feel heavier. The sounds of the park, the laughter of children and the rustling leaves faded into a distant hum. Lucy felt the world around her blur as she focused on the woman's next words. "There's been talk," the neighbor continued, her voice shaking, "about the last family who lived there before you. We didn't want to scare you or dig up old wounds, but, they say." A hesitant pause lingered, drawing out Lucy's anxiety. There were some strange occurrences. Losses that were never explained. Strange occurrences? Lucy echoed quietly, her throat dry. A part of her wanted to dismiss it. She had heard the stories whispered among the neighbors, but they had always felt just that, stories. But another part couldn't shake the growing dread. "People disappeared," the woman finally said, her voice barely above a whisper. "Not just from the neighborhood, but from that house. It's like it has a grip on those who live there. Each family that tried to make it theirs faced hardships, tragedies." Lucy felt her breath hitch. "You're saying my family were tied to that?" The thought sent waves of confusion crashing through her mind. Her family had always been her anchor, how could they be part of something so dark? The officer, sensing the changing tide of their conversation, stepped closer. "Lucy, we can talk through this. If there's any truth to it, we have to confront it together. Ignoring it won't make it go away." "But what if it is true?" Lucy shot back, her voice trembling now. "What if we are cursed? Am I doomed?" Max whined softly, sensing her distress. She knelt to hug him, seeking comfort in his warmth and loyalty. The soft, furry nuzzle against her shoulder made her feel slightly less alone in this storm of confusion. "Curses don't end families, Lucy. They don't build lives." Officer Martinez's calm tone resonated with determination. "What matters is what you make of it now. You have control over your story." As more neighbors moved in closer, their faces painted with concern and a growing sense of solidarity, Lucy felt some of her fear dissipate. The weight of uncertainty was still heavy, but this time, she stood with support. Perhaps, just perhaps, there was strength in the openness they were finding together. "Let us figure this out," she said, voice steadying with each word. "If there's something to uncover, let us do it together. I won't let whispers from the dark take away my home or my family." A flicker of respect sparked in the neighbors' eyes. They nodded, agreement weaving through the group like an invisible thread. The coiled-haired woman reached out, placing a hand on Lucy's shoulder. "You're stronger than you know, Lucy. Somehow, I feel like this can lead us to shine a light on whatever shadows are haunting your family's history." Just as hope felt like a tangible thread winding through them, a dark cloud rolled in from the horizon, heavy and menacing. Lucy glanced over her shoulder, sensing a change in the air. A figure emerged from the shadows, watching them intently. The chill ran deeper than before, as the uncertainty of the future loomed over their newly forged alliance. Who was this new arrival, and what did they know about her family's secrets? Lucy. Officer Martinez's voice was low, urgent. We may not be alone in confronting the past. Lucy felt her insides knot as the figure stepped into sharper view. A tall man with dark sunglasses and an air of authority strode towards the gathering, disrupting the brief moment of unity that had formed. The whispers from the two neighbors faded into silence, with everyone's eyes now trained on the newcomer. "Excuse me," he called out, his voice low and heavy with meaning. "I need to speak with you about the house. There are things you don't understand." Lucy swallowed hard, her heart pounding in her chest. The sunlight that had felt so warm just moments ago now cast unsettling shadows around her. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice steadier than she felt. The man's gaze shifted between Lucy and the neighbors, a knowing look flickering across his face. "Things that happened before your family moved in. Unresolved issues. The last family? They tried to leave, but it didn't end well." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Lucy felt like the earth had shifted beneath her feet. "What do you know?" She stepped forward, challenging him with an irreplicable mix of fear and determination. "They lost a child," he explained, his tone grave, "and their efforts to escape fell apart. This is why the house holds whispers. This is why it's been haunted for those who dared to stay." The word haunted echoed in her mind, leaving her heart racing. "Why are you telling me this?" she pressed. "What do you want from us?" "It's not what I want, it's what you need to know," he stated firmly. "If you're willing to stand your ground, you must confront your family's past and let go of the fear that clings to that house. Otherwise, it will continue to suffocate you." A heavy silence enveloped them, each breath filled with an urgency to understand. Lucy clutched Max, feeling the powerful bond they shared grounding her. Officer Martinez stepped closer, fortifying the protection she felt through their connection. As if sensing the unspoken understanding within that circle of support, the neighbors collectively shifted forward, urged on by Lucy's bravery. "What do we do?" one neighbor asked, looking to Lucy for guidance. Her mind raced, piecing everything together. "We gather the stories I need to learn about what really happened. If we're going to face this, I must know the truth. Then let us form a committee," the coiled-haired woman offered with determination. "We'll visit the local library, search for records, speak with anyone who might know more." Lucy's heart swelled with gratitude, a spark of hope igniting within her. "Yes," she said, filled with resolve. "Today isn't just about dogs or training, it's about building something real. Solving this mystery may end whatever shadows are lingering over us." The figure remained silent, observing. Perhaps more than a stranger, he was a warning, an invitation to discover rather than fear what lurked in her family's history. But that also meant her family had to answer for themselves. With newfound strength, Lucy turned toward Officer Martinez. "Will you help us? You've been a guiding light through this." "I don't want to do it alone." The officer nodded gleefully, "Of course. I'll help organize everything. We'll tackle this together, as a community." As chatter resumed, Lucy felt a shift in their presence. More than just neighbors, they were allies joined in unison, ready to break the chains of history and forge a new narrative filled with hope rather than darkness. Her heart raced again, but this time it was fueled by excitement. "Let us get started," she declared, turning back toward the man who had approached them. "But we need your help, too. You brought this to our attention. What else can you tell us that might shed light on what we face?" The corners of his mouth turned upwards, almost in a smile, as if he appreciated her courage. "Meet me tomorrow at the old oak tree by the library. It's where the community buried its secrets. You'll hear stories that will guide you. With that, he turned to leave, stepping back into shadows, leaving Lucy and her neighbors standing amidst the warmth of sunlight. Tomorrow, she whispered, we face the past together. And as laughter and chatter returned to the park, Lucy knew this wasn't the end, it was a new beginning. A friendship forged in understanding, her family's history no longer a weight to carry but a path to reveal strength. Max nudged her with his cold nose, bringing her back to the present. She knelt to hug him tight, warmth radiating through her fingers. With her community by her side, she had taken the step toward transformation. Hope bloomed in her heart, and together, they ventured into a brighter tomorrow. Join Lucy on her journey of discovery, healing, and true community in the next chapter of this story. You need to subscribe now to witness how her confrontation with the past unfolds. This is the moment to show your support. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Comment your reactions about this powerful ending and how it made you feel. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation and stand beside Lucy on this incredible journey. Don't wait not even one more second to support this channel.